At 2:13 a.m., former security contractor Daniel Mercer stood alone beside a chain-link fence in the Nevada desert, staring toward the black outline of Groom Lake. The wind pushed dust across his boots, but Daniel barely moved. He had returned to the place he had spent years trying to forget. In his hand was a small battered folder. On its cover were 3 words: "Do not release." Daniel claimed he had never seen an alien at Area 51. What he had seen, however, was enough to keep him awake for years. Area 51 has become one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Hidden inside the Nevada Test and Training Range, the facility has been connected to some of America's most secret aviation programs. For decades, its existence was surrounded by silence, rumors, and strange lights appearing over the desert. During the Cold War, that secrecy had a practical purpose. The United States needed somewhere remote to test aircraft that could fly higher and faster than anything the public had ever seen. Aircraft such as the U-2 and the A-12 Oxcart were developed and tested in extraordinary secrecy. From the ground, their unusual shapes and extreme altitudes could easily look like something not made on Earth. But Daniel's story began decades later. According to his account, one night he was assigned to a restricted section near an underground access road. His instructions were simple: guard the entrance and allow no unauthorized vehicles through. Around midnight, a convoy arrived without headlights. The vehicles passed through the gate, and Daniel noticed something unusual. Every truck carried the same warning symbol, a black triangle surrounding a red circle. Then the final vehicle stopped. A man in a dark suit stepped out. He handed Daniel a sealed document and told him that the contents were classified beyond his clearance level. Daniel never opened it. But before the convoy disappeared underground, he heard a deep metallic vibration coming from beneath the desert floor. He described it as a low-frequency hum, followed by 3 heavy impacts. The next morning, the road was clean. There were no tire tracks. No equipment remained. Even the warning signs had disappeared. Daniel eventually left the facility. Years later, he began hearing stories about secret underground laboratories, recovered technology, and objects that supposedly came from beyond Earth. Some witnesses claimed the government had hidden crashed spacecraft at Area 51. Others believed the strange objects were simply experimental aircraft. The evidence is where the mystery becomes complicated. Declassified records confirm that Area 51 was used for highly classified aircraft development and testing. The CIA has acknowledged its role in the U-2 and A-12 programs. Officials have also explained that many UFO reports during the Cold War were connected to aircraft operating far above normal commercial flight paths. But that does not answer every question. Area 51 remains part of an enormous military testing complex, and many details about current operations are classified. That secrecy creates a perfect environment for speculation. When people see restricted airspace, unusual aircraft, mysterious lights, and massive security measures, the human imagination naturally fills the gaps. Daniel's folder contained no photograph of an alien, no confirmed spacecraft, no government confession. Instead, it contained a map. The map showed a section of desert surrounding Groom Lake, marked with several circles beneath the surface. Beside one circle were 2 words: future testing. Daniel said he did not know what the markings meant. He only knew that the map had never been shown to the public. Years later, he returned to the fence at 2:13 a.m. and watched the distant lights of the facility. Then, suddenly, one light disappeared. Another appeared beneath the desert horizon. Daniel opened his folder, looked at the map, and whispered, "So they are still testing something." Whether that something is an advanced aircraft, experimental technology, or something far stranger remains unknown. And perhaps that is the real secret of Area 51. The most frightening mystery may not be what the government has revealed. It may be what it still refuses to explain. Until the doors open, the desert will keep its secrets, and every unexplained light above Groom Lake will raise the same question once again.